Have you ever woken up one morning, feeling unusually tired, as if your body is trying to send you a quiet warning? Maybe you brushed it off, thinking, it's just age. Or maybe I didn't sleep well last night, but what you didn't know is that your body might be whispering the first signs of an oncoming stroke. No pain, nothing obvious, nothing like what you see in movies. The earliest signs of a stroke are often subtle and easy to ignore. A slight numbness in your fingers, a strange headache, a brief moment of confusion when you forget what you were just saying. And then, just hours or days later, everything can change forever. Every year, hundreds of thousands of people over 60 lose their ability to walk, to speak, even to remember simply because they missed these early signs. In today's video, you'll discover the silent symptoms that may signal a stroke before it strikes, how to tell the difference between normal fatigue and a real warning sign, and 9 small daily habits that can naturally and effectively reduce your risk of stroke. If you're over 60 or caring for an aging loved one, this is one video you simply cannot afford to skip. This isn't a video meant to scare you. It's a video meant to protect your life and preserve the beautiful years you still deserve to enjoy. Part 1. The Silent Killer, High Blood Pressure. Do you know what's the most dangerous thing about high blood pressure? It's not the numbers, it's not the symptoms. It's the fact that it gives you no warning. High blood pressure, often called the silent killer, slowly damages your blood vessels every single day. You don't see it, you don't hear it, you don't feel it, but inside, your arteries, your nerves, are quietly breaking down. Someone once told me, my pressure is normally 150/90. If it goes any lower, I feel dizzy, so I just leave it like that. Sound familiar? That kind of thinking can be deadly. When your blood pressure is high, your heart is forced to work twice as hard to push blood through your body. Your arteries stretch like over-tightened strings, growing thinner, weaker. It only takes one surge of blood, one single moment, for a vessel in your brain to rupture. That's a hemorrhagic stroke. On the other hand, when your arteries are damaged for years, fat and cholesterol begin to build up like sludge in a pipe. The flow narrows, slows, until one day, it stops completely. That's an ischemic stroke, so you see? No matter the type, whether bleeding or blockage, high blood pressure is the root cause. And the saddest part, most people ignore it. They don't check often, they don't track their readings. They don't even know what numbers to be worried about. Here's what you need to remember: check your blood pressure at home, while relaxed, not just during doctor visits. Don't let white coat syndrome fool you, where readings spike only at the clinic. Write down your numbers, every morning and night, in a notebook. Yes, the ideal target is 120/80, but that may vary depending on your health condition. The most important thing is this: know your numbers, and keep them under control. If you've never checked your blood pressure at home before, then today, right after this video, is the perfect time to start, because tomorrow might be too late. You're hearing all this, and maybe you're thinking, I haven't felt any of these symptoms, or I did, but they passed, so I guess I'm fine. But please, listen closely. 20% of people who experience minor stroke symptoms went on to have a full-blown stroke just days later. And by then, they couldn't walk, they couldn't speak. Some couldn't even recognize their loved ones. One small symptom, if noticed and acted upon early, could save an entire life. And in the next part, you'll learn how to protect yourself. Not with expensive pills, not with hospital visits, just with simple daily habits, small changes that make a big difference. Ignore this, and you may miss the only chance you have to stay whole. Because stroke doesn't send a warning, it only leaves damage behind. So keep watching, don't click away. The next part could be the most important thing you hear today. Part 2. The strange headache, unlike anything you felt before. Most of us have had headaches, from lack of sleep, the weather, or everyday stress. But there's one kind of headache, different from any headache you've ever had. And it could be the first warning sign of a stroke. This type of pain often comes suddenly, without warning. Or it may start mild, and grow stronger, like someone tightening a rope around your head. It doesn't feel like a regular headache. Instead, you might notice intense pounding pain, temporary vision loss, dizziness or blurry vision, discomfort in the neck, pressure in the head, or lightheadedness. Many stroke survivors describe it like this. It wasn't a normal headache, it felt completely different. Like something inside my head was about to explode. And here's the most dangerous part. We often ignore it. We take a painkiller. We lie down, we hope it passes, but what we don't realize is, with every minute of delay, millions of brain cells may be dying. Don't wait for it to go away. If you experience a headache that feels unusual or extreme, a type of pain you've never felt before, and it comes with blurred vision, nausea, or weakness on one side of the body, go to the hospital immediately. It might not be a stroke. But if it is, every minute counts. For each minute untreated, your brain loses nearly 2 million cells. Let this be your reminder. A stroke doesn't always begin with numbness or paralysis. Sometimes it begins with a headache that, if you pay attention, if you trust that something doesn't feel right, could be the signal that saves your life. Part 3. Numbness on one side, a major red flag. You're sitting, reading a book, and suddenly, your right hand feels strange. You pick up your cup of tea, but it doesn't feel steady. Moments later, your right leg feels heavier, like it's glued to the floor. If this happens, treat it as an emergency. This is one of the clearest warning signs of a stroke or a transient ischemic attack, TIA, also known as a mini-stroke. But why just one side of the body? Because the brain controls the body in cross pathways. A problem in the left side of the brain affects the right side of the body. Damage to the right brain affects the left side. T might feel like pins and needles, or sudden weakness, not total paralysis, but a strange lack of strength or control. Some feel it only in the hand, others in the leg. But any sudden change like this is a red flag. The danger is, most people brush it off. Maybe I slept in a bad position. Maybe I sat too long, and they wait. But while they wait, their brain may be starving of oxygen. And with every minute, life slips further away. If you, or someone you love, suddenly feels numb or weak in one arm or leg, struggles to grip objects, feels off balance, or unable to move a limb normally, call emergency services immediately. Don't make an appointment. Don't take painkillers and lie down. Act fast, and you may stop a major stroke before it strikes. Many stroke survivors later say, "If only I had gone to the hospital sooner." Please, don't let yourself become one of those regrets. Part 4. Unable to speak, or can't understand what others are saying. Imagine you're having a normal conversation with a loved one, and suddenly, they say something, but you can't make sense of it. Or worse, you try to reply, but no sound comes out. This isn't confusion from old age. It's not a momentary lapse. It could be that the part of the brain responsible for language is being cut off from blood flow. That part is called the Broca's area or Wernicke's area. Depending on where the stroke occurs, you may understand others but be unable to speak. Speak words that make no sense or are unrelated. Or not understand what others are saying, even if they speak clearly. Loved ones often notice it first. I asked him, "Does your head hurt?" He looked at me, nodded, and said, "Rain, TV, walking." The words are jumbled, disconnected, and that's a major red flag. Important to know, not everyone having a stroke collapses right away. Many are still standing, still alert, but their speech becomes disordered, or they fall completely silent. Watch for difficulty speaking, slurred or distorted speech, jumbled sentences or nonsense words, inability to understand simple questions. Call emergency services immediately. Don't assume they're just tired or they'll be fine after a nap. When it comes to language, every minute of delay means more brain cells lost. And if you're the spouse, the friend, the person in the room, you may be their only chance to survive. Recognizing something is wrong and getting them to the hospital fast could mean the difference between losing their voice forever and saving their ability to speak. Part 5. Loss of balance, walking like someone who's drunk. Have you ever seen someone walk unsteadily? Like they've had too much to drink, even though they haven't had a drop. They seem confused, their steps veer off to one side. Their body sways, as if they might fall at any moment. Don't brush it off as tired legs or simple dizziness. This may be a sign that the brain is losing control over balance. And in many cases, this is one of the early signs of a stroke. Why does this happen? There's a part of the brain called the cerebellum, responsible for coordination and physical balance. walking in a straight line, staying upright when turning or moving, maintaining stability while standing. When this area is starved of blood, even for just a few minutes, the person may suddenly lose control of their body. You might notice staggering, as if drunk, wobbly, unstable steps, or falling immediately upon standing. Family members often think, maybe their blood pressure dropped ... double quotes. Maybe they're tired or didn't eat breakfast ... But the truth is, they could be experiencing a mini stroke or early stroke. So when should you worry? If someone suddenly can't walk straight, walks like they're slipping or sliding, looks confused or unsure of what's happening, take them to the ER right away, because if it is a stroke, you may have just caught the golden window to save their brain. The best chance for recovery is within the first 3 to 4 hours after symptoms begin. After that, the chance of full recovery drops sharply. If you are the one who notices something's not right, you might be the very person who saves them from losing their ability to walk forever. Part 6. Unusual exhaustion, a strange kind of tired you've never felt before. Everyone gets tired sometimes, from working too much, poor sleep, or changes in the weather. But if one day you feel an unusual kind of fatigue, a tiredness that feels different from anything you've ever experienced, take it seriously. It could be a sign that your brain is being deprived of blood and oxygen, and that you may be in the early stages of a stroke. Why does this happen? When blood flow to the brain is disrupted, even for a short time, the entire body feels it. You may experience sudden, unexplained fatigue, a powerful urge to lie down immediately, or a soulless, drained feeling, exhaustion with no clear reason. Many stroke survivors describe it like this. That day, I was so tired I couldn't lift my arms. Even opening my eyes felt like a struggle. I thought I just hadn't slept enough. Turns out, a stroke was already coming. Pay attention if your fatigue feels strange, not your usual tiredness. It comes with dizziness, headache, or numbness. You wake up tired, even after a full night's rest. This is not the tiredness of aging or a busy schedule. This is your body screaming for help, a warning that something is threatening your brain. If you feel like something isn't right, trust that instinct. It's always better to see a doctor early than to act too late. We've all had dozens, maybe hundreds, of tired days in our lives. But if one day, the fatigue feels strange, different, heavy in a way you can't explain, that's not a coincidence. It may be your body whispering, please, help me before it's too late. Part 7. Clumsy movements, when simple tasks suddenly become difficult. Have you ever noticed that something simple, like holding a spoon, typing, or buttoning a shirt, suddenly feels clumsy and awkward? It's not because your hand hurts. It's not just age-related trembling. It may be a sign that your brain is starting to lose fine motor control. What's happening when blood flow to a small part of the brain is disrupted, even briefly? Your body still works, but precision drops. You feel less coordinated than usual, or you have trouble controlling one hand the way you normally do. Some people have said, I tried pouring water, but my hand shook slightly, just enough to spill a little. I was fully awake. I could still walk, but brushing my teeth didn't feel smooth, like something was off. Don't wait until your hands or legs stop working completely. If one hand feels weaker than the other, if small tasks become difficult, if using chopsticks, writing, or familiar activities suddenly feel awkward, that may be a transient ischemic attack, TIA, a mini-stroke. What feels like just a little weakness could actually be your brain sounding a serious alarm. Many people dismiss it, thinking, maybe I'm just tired ... Maybe my left hand's acting up today ... double quotes. And just days later, they collapse from a full-blown stroke. You don't need to wait until you're paralyzed. Even small changes deserve immediate attention, because sometimes it's the little signs that save your life. Part 8. Sudden vision changes, blurry, double, or loss of sight in one eye. You're reading a book or watching TV, and suddenly your vision becomes blurry, or objects appear doubled. Or one eye just stops seeing entirely. This isn't eye strain. It's not nearsightedness or aging vision. It could be an early warning sign of stroke. Why does this happen? The brain doesn't just move your arms and legs. It also processes the images your eyes send. If the area responsible for vision is starved of blood, you may experience blurred or strangely bright vision, Vision loss on one side, sometimes without even noticing. Double vision, seeing two images even with one eye closed. Survivors have shared, I was driving, and suddenly the right side of my vision went dark. I thought it was dust in my eye. Double quotes. Things looked like they were dancing. I couldn't tell if it was real or just my eyes. When should you worry if you suddenly have blurry vision, even though your eyes were fine before? See shimmering, shifting, or missing areas in your sight. Experience double vision, even with one eye closed. Go to the emergency room immediately. Don't just use eye drops. Don't assume it's from tired eyes or bright lights. If the visual center of your brain is deprived of oxygen for too long, your vision may never return. Eyes are the windows to the soul, but the brain is the command center behind what you see. A small stroke in the visual center, if caught early, can often be reversed almost completely. So remember this. If your eyes see something unusual, don't just look with your eyes, look with caution. You've just heard all 8 warning signs. And now you understand, even the smallest symptom might be your brain's final cry for help. Maybe today, you feel fine. Maybe your loved one is smiling, healthy, and full of life. But stroke doesn't give advance notice. It doesn't come with a scheduled warning. It only leaves behind permanent consequences. But here's the good news. Most strokes can be prevented with simple daily habits. Checking your blood pressure regularly. Getting enough sleep. Reducing salt in your meals. Taking daily walks. And most importantly, listening carefully to your body. We can't go back and undo what's been done. But we can make better choices today to protect tomorrow. If you're still watching this video, I believe you care deeply about your own health and the well-being of those you love. Please share this video with a friend, a parent, or a neighbor, because sometimes one small click can save an entire family from heartbreak, and I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever experienced any of these 8 signs in yourself or someone close to you? Share your story in the comments. Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to avoid disaster. Thank you for watching and for caring. See you in the next video, where we'll keep learning how to live longer, live stronger, and live with more intention and awareness. Wishing you peace, health, and the clarity to recognize the signs life is trying to show you.